Want to feel like a true ghost? We know just the thing. It's time for the 10 best stealth games to play on PC right now. Stealth games feel like an art. Sure, anyone with an itchy trigger finger can snare a headshot, but when it comes to carefully considering every movement in the room before even stepping a toe inside, stealth games have a distinct allure. Even if your attempts go horribly wrong and you end up murdering everyone in sight, the possibility of having been sneaky is so appealing. We've made a previous video of the best stealth games to play, but it's time to update that list. So from terrifying sneaking in the dark to, well, much less terrifying honking as a horrible goose. Here are the 10 best stealth games you can play on PC right now.
If you don't mind me saying so, your particular choice of attire is maybe a little, I don't know, off?
My suit is at the cleaners.
And you couldn't find anything else to wear?
Correct.
You must lead a very interesting life, my friend.
You have no idea.
Hitman 2 is an ultra-concentrated version of everything that's so satisfying about the stealth genre. Each level is a perfectly constructed sandbox. A multitude of solutions are laid out in front of you, and all you need to do is choose one perfect way to kill your target. And there are no rules.
Interesting.
At last, the actions of the first constant catch up with you.
The game suggests many ways to take out your target, but you can reject them all. Make it ultra difficult for yourself by dictating your own ideal scenario. They're all equally valid.
So here are the two possible outcomes of this meeting. One, you will leave this place and this country.
Target down.
Whether you're crushing people under cars or taking in every little bit of detail before you even make a single decision, Hitman 2 will allow you to do exactly what you want, when you want.
Can you look up a bit? Thank you.
The joy of getting away with murder, literally, is a joy regardless of the way you choose to do it. And don't forget, you can always make it festive with a Holiday Hoarders mission. It brings a whole new meaning to Santa's sleigh.
Come on, Santa. Oh, you magic.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. No presents for anyone this year.
In his suit right now. We got to waltz out as Santa.
While you'll happily cackle at the chaos you cause in Hitman, our next title has about as much laughing as you'd expect from a game called A Plague Tale: Innocence. Rats, death, and children don't sound like the happiest of combined treats, but don't let that put you off this brilliant story-rich adventure. Amica and Hugo must find their way across plague-torn medieval France, which means stealth is the vital order of the day to avoid being murdered by, well, everything. This is a waiting game, literally. Waiting for just the right moment a guard's back is turned. Waiting for the perfect moment to set a pack of rats on an unsuspecting victim. And waiting for your feels to ebb away before moving on to the next section that'll equally eviscerate your heartstrings. You didn't need them anyway, right?
And die too. That noise. I better go see what it was.
It was no mean feat to follow up one of the best stealth experiences of the 21st century, but Arcane Studios managed it just fine with Dishonored 2. This time moving the action from Dunwall to Sandy Carnica, Corvo and Emily's follow-up to the rat-filled original offers up even more choice to play the way you want. Do you ghost every area, leaving only whispery shadows in the dust where you have been? Or do you make the most of a magical ability, or 6, and make sure everyone sees your perfectly orchestrated handiwork? Dishonored 2, like Hitman, hands you a full suite of tools and tells you to do exactly what you want with them.
I have a feeling I'll need these.
And of course, dependent on your playstyle and your character choice, you can make the experience your very own. Just don't feel too bad when you look on YouTube and see the really impressive ways people have played with these toys. Everyone does it their way.
Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkino, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
Stealth can be satisfying. It can even be funny, But it's important to remember that by its very nature, sneaking around not getting caught can be really scary too.
Mother of God, what happened here?
Amnesia Rebirth, the latest survival horror from Frictional Games, knows all about that, casting you into the dark with nothing to defend yourself from madness and monsters except a rapidly diminishing collection of matches. The hide-and-seek sections aren't abundant, but that's what makes them so terrifying when they do crop up. Stealth isn't just a playstyle here, it's a necessary method of survival. You'll need to stay out of reach of the nastiness lurking in the darkness without going mad. Do you strike a match or light your lamp to stave off the stress? Or does that mean you're going to be spotted as you light yourself up like a Christmas tree? Good luck. It's not a choice we want to make again. Nothing says being stealthy more than being tiny. But likewise, nothing says horrifying more than everything around you being big. Little Nightmares is a platformer where stealth is a matter of life or death. As you creep around the vast, creaking environment, you encounter corrupted souls, always searching for their next meal, which could very well be you. You need to avoid watchful gazes and hide under beds as all your childhood nightmares come to life. It's terrifyingly atmospheric, which really makes you want to slink into the shadows, too scared to put a foot in the light. And that's what makes it such a good stealth game, where it's not just a mechanic you utilize to win, but something you feel compelled to do at every moment, be it cowering under a sink or slipping into any cracks you find. Little Nightmares is heart-racing stealth. Aragami is your chance to be a ninja, and nothing is more stealthy than that. As a vengeful spirit, you have more than the classic shuriken at your disposal. You can control shadows. Oh yeah, the ultimate sneaky move. Teleport from place to place, appearing and disappearing in the darkness as you please. AI is reactive, so it's not always simple, but when you do manage to sneak your way behind someone and introduce them to your sword, it's everything you could want from being a ninja. There's even a co-op mode so you can sneak around with a friend. Or if you prefer to kill solo, you'll be focused on the skill tree that gives you shady upgrades to make enemies afraid, even in the light. You can sneak past silently or kill everyone in sight. It's totally up to you. But this is our chance to be a ninja, so you can probably expect some swords to be swung. While Dishonoured is likely the name that comes to mind when you think stealth, Styx is what should come straight after. This weird fantasy world is full of everything from elves and glowing crystals to, of course, you, the goblin assassin. It's detailed and open, with layered environments you can creep and climb through, scaling ropes and walls or skulking in corners. So how you decide to sneak or assassinate is up to you. There's a huge range of weapons and traps at your disposal to craft and find. But even without all the extras, the stealth is great. With maps built for you to hide your way through, or spit out another version of yourself and let him do it. Many of your greatest skills are barf-based. Yeah, best not to think of that too much. Whether it's you or your bile-covered companion though, stealth is always a sneaky delight.
It's a trap!
Shadow Tactics is stealth with a plan. This strategic masterpiece is all about thinking multiple moves ahead to clear levels. And what levels they are! If you take away all the bloodshed, they are seriously beautiful. Graceful snowfall, trees in full blossom. It's enough to make you pack in the katana and retire. You have a group of 5 totally unique characters who each bring something different to the team. One is a samurai who can take down multiple enemies at once. Another, a master of camouflage, distracting as a geisha. But each one is a master assassin. Only if you avoid being seen, that is. 1 second in the line of sight and your plan is ruined. Oh me? I was just going for a walk with my sword. While attacks are great, it's the stealth that takes time to master. But once you do, you'll feel unstoppable. It's an odd contender for a stealth list, we'll give you that, but Untitled Goose Game is just as worthy of the place on this list as anything else. Even as one of our feathered friends, one must be sneaky in order to get what you want, and while the idea of having to creep around while having a honk button is ridiculous, there's serious thought required here. Part of the stealth genre is the art of distraction, after all, and there's nothing more distracting than a giant flapping goose when all you're trying to do is have a nice day in the village. Check out Matt and Louise's Let's Play to discover just how stealthy, or not so stealthy, you can be.
It is you. This is you.
Same pasty legs.
And I'm gonna take your plane as well. What are you gonna do about it?
Whether you're trying to remain unseen while unplugging radios or stealing carrots, this is one of the funniest sneaky experiences you can have in 2020, and we all need more of those. The hooded franchise of the free-running Brotherhood made a bit of a detour away from stealth in the past few years, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla has brought the art of the air assassination back for 2020. While you can, of course, hurtle across the regions of England roaring and swinging your axe, you can equally scuttle up a pillar and make your way silently across perfectly positioned ropes. Hay is back in business, and you can even unlock a skill to make short work of even the hardest of foes with an assassination minigame. Suddenly, creeping around in the shadows as a Viking is actually possible, and while it's not the easiest route, there's a distinct satisfaction to avoiding a boss fight amidst a castle siege just by climbing up a nearby wall and finding your way silently to the perfect murder spot. Hiding in hedges is seriously underrated too. So that's the best stealth games you can play on PC right now. Let us know your favorite in the comments below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the sneaking, and be a ghost with the most, and hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss another video from Logitech G. And we promise it's silent, but if you ring the notification bell, you'll know exactly when our next one slides into view.